So today's concept is triggering. Do you have any idea what is the triggering means?
Like we have to trigger that whatever it is a message or whatever it is thing, we have to trigger that thing with the help of like Q manager to Q manager B. What we find the information, we have to trigger to get the information from another source.
Triggering in the sense when you press the gun trigger, the bullet will get fired, correct?
Yes.
So that is a event-based action. That is called as a triggering. I'm just looking for a definition here. 1 minute. Where is that? Where is that? So you understand what is a triggering. When someone press the trigger, the bullet will fire. Like that. This is an automated event driven by MQ series.
Yes.
When we have a communication between the two queue managers, see here, our channels will be running by default, correct?
Okay.
I don't want my channels to run continuously. I want my channel to run only when there is a messages coming to the transmission queue. If the messages are not coming to the transmission queue, I want my channel to be inactive. If there is a work, then only we will do, correct? If there is no work,
Yes.
we'll keep it. For example, if you sit in office idle, there is an event-based activity will happen. The lights will get switched off if you don't move any action. If your hands are not moving, if no one is doing any action, the lights will get switched off. That's called an event-based activity. Okay.
Yes.
So now, in MQ point of view, when I'm talking about a triggering, so we are talking about triggering of channels. Okay. I want my channel to start only when there is a traffic coming to the transmission queue. What is a channel triggering? Let's discuss about the simple thing. Channel triggering is any event which fires the channel whenever certain conditions met on a transmission queue. Okay. So we have the setup, right? Remote queue to transmission queue to center channel. Do you
Yes.
want me to make that diagram or no need?
Yeah, make it.
Normally here, why it is not getting pressed? Imagine this is a listener. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the another listener. This is queue manager
Okay.
A. This is queue manager B. Okay.
Yes.
And this is the listener A. This is listener B. When you make a communication, these two listeners has to be active. And when you make a communication, sorry, 1 minute. When you make a communication, channels also has to be active. I don't want my channels to be active continuously. I want my channels to be active only when there is a traffic. I'm trying to draw. This is not figuring out. Okay. When there is a no traffic, I want to be, my channel should be inactive.
Okay.
To achieve my functionality, what I have to do? I have to make some changes to the transmission queue. Riaz, you joined, right?
Yeah, I joined.
Okay.
Sorry for
So
that.
whatever you have listened the day before yesterday's session, I'm first explaining to her. So you can also continue. Okay. So we did some changes to the transmission queue, and then we have to do the changes to the center channel. Okay. If I do this two required changes, so I'll show you. I've already done the lab day before yesterday from queue manager A to queue manager B. I'll show you the demo first. Okay.
Okay.
Run MQSC QMGR A. If I give display CHS status, my receiver channel is running, but my center channel from queue manager A to queue manager B is not running. Let's see. Queue manager A to queue manager B is not running. Why it is not running? Why? Because channel triggering is applied here only when the messages come to the transmission queue, then only the messages will get triggered. See here, trigger depth is 10. Okay. So I did the alteration already. So I'm just trying to show you. You have noticed, right? Our center channel is inactive, correct? Kirtana, are you getting my point?
Yes, yes.
So our status is not found. Okay. I'm going here. What I will do, AMQS put
Good messages.
remote queue QMGR A. If I put 9 messages, will my channel start or not? Tell me. If I put 9 messages, my channel will not start. Let's see. Run MQSC, Queue Manager A, display CHS. Queue Manager A dot Queue Manager B.
Could be.
Oh, it started running. Maybe it has taken.
Running, right?
Huh?
It's running.
Yeah, it started running. I'm a bit surprised. Display QL, PQ, trigger depth. Okay, trigger type I have given as first. Okay,
The first actually.
alter QL, TQ,
Third type, trigger type.
trigger type. I have to give here
Every or depth.
depth.
Okay.
See, two types here. If I give first for every first message, channel will start. You got my point? A batch
Yes.
will be having a 10,000 messages or 10 lakh messages, whatever it is. So day before yesterday, we have checked the scenario of depth. We have checked the scenario of first also. That's why it got started.
Okay.
Trigger, trigger type depth. Trigger depth. I'll make it as 5 only. Okay.
Okay.
Trigger data. QMGR A dot QMGR B. Init queue. System dot channel dot init queue. You see here system dot channel dot init queue.
Init queue.
Trigger type, trigger depth, trigger data, init queue. Alter QLTQ. Trigger. Okay. You see here, what is the mistake I did? Small mistake, typo mistake, TYPE, trigger type. Okay, now it is done. And we have did a changes to the channel also. I'll show it to you right now. QMGR A dot QMGR B. Okay, DISCINT. See, this 60 stands for 60 seconds. Okay. Here we are
Okay.
making two conditions. Condition number 1, if 5 messages coming to the transmission queue, then only start the channel, or wait for 60 seconds. If there is a no traffic for 60 seconds, then inactive the channel. These are the two main conditions. What is the two conditions? Let me repeat. If the 5 messages coming to the transmission queue, then only start the channel. If 5 messages
Okay.
are not coming, wait for particular interval of time which is mentioned in the DISCINT, 60 seconds.
Okay.
If there is no traffic, go inactive. Let me see if our changes are effective. See, our center channel got inactive already. PMGR A dot, PMGR B. Now, if I put how many messages? 5 messages, correct? Then only my
Yes.
center channel should start, correct?
Correct.
What I will do? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't put
Right.
fifth message.
Okay.
I just want to cross check once again. Display CHS, PMGR A dot, PMGR B. My channel is not running. It means I'm perfectly fine. Correct?
Yes.
I am going to put one more message. So my channel would have started by this time.
Yes.
Right. Perfect. My center channel also started.
Yes.
Ignore currently the receiver channel because it's talking about a two-way communication from queue manager A to B and B to A. Okay. So our concept here is my channels should start only when 5 messages come to the transmission queue. So first condition met. What is the second condition? Channel should go inactive if there is a no messages coming for more than 60 seconds. Correct?
Yes.
So we have to wait for some time and see how soon the channel is going to be inactive. So it's still running. So we have to wait for some time and then we have to do the changes. We have to wait. Running. You got my point, right? What is the triggering? Triggering is about event-based activity. I don't want my center channel to be running continuously because I have to save my environment, my utilization, my cost.
Okay.
If my channel is running continuously, what is the disadvantage? Your CPU, your memory, your resource utilization, everything will get affected, correct? Why we
Yes.
need something where we can automate something? Still running. So we have to wait for some more time. So overall concept we have seen from queue manager A to queue manager B. If I have to do the same from queue manager B to queue manager A, what I have to do? I have to same alteration, whatever I have did it in transmission queue and whatever the alteration I have did it for the center channel. Same thing I have to do for queue manager B, correct? See,
Yes.
our center channel is gone. Is no more active. Same display CHS command. Center was running earlier. Now only receiver is running. It means if you go and check PMGR A dot PMGRB not running. So our condition met. Now
Yes.
again, if I want to start the channel, what I have to do? Let's put this time 5 messages directly.
5 messages.
PMGR A display CHS. Wow, my channel is running. So we have to wait for some more time. If my channel goes inactive, then I'm succeed. So this overall concept of triggering works based on the system.channel.init queue. What this system.channel.init queue does. Okay. After giving the specific conditions, listen to this message a little bit carefully, okay? After giving the specific conditions on a transmission queue, it means you are going to trigger type, trigger depth, trigger data, those conditions, right? Whenever the messages comes to the transmission queue, the queue manager will look into the queue. It means whenever the messages coming to the transmission queue, the queue manager will monitor. If it is a triggered, the queue manager will fire a trigger message into the initiation queue. If the transmission queue is mentioned as a trigger, that's what the definition says. So if you look at the above syntax, I says trigger, right?
Yes.
Whenever we mention trigger, then queue manager will start monitoring why they have mentioned trigger. What is the event? Is it a depth? Is it a first or is it a every? See, depth means it will check for depth. What is the depth? Okay, number of messages is 5.
Yeah.
Which channel it is asking to start? Queue manager A down, queue manager B. All this information is going to store in the system.channel.init queue. When I say init queue, this is the initiation queue. Am I clear here?
Yes.
So the overall theoretical concept is, if you don't mention here a trigger, all these things are invalid. If I mention alter QLTQ, no trigger, it means queue manager will not monitor all these next attributes. Though you mentioned the depth 5, trigger depth, depth 5, trigger data, everything you mentioned, but just you change it as a trigger to no trigger. What will happen? Queue manager will not read all these next messages. Queue manager will only read these messages only if it is mentioned as a trigger. Am I clear on this? This is what that definition says. Okay.
Okay.
So, what I'm going to do, run MQSC, queue manager, B, display, QL, PQ. A to B, I have done a communication, right? Channel triggering I have done. But B to A, I want to do alter, QL, PQ, trigger, trigger type, DEPTH, trigger depth, 5, okay. Trigger data. Trigger data talks about standard channel name, queue manager B dot queue manager A. What is next? Initiation queue, right? Yeah. Init queue, system dot channel dot init queue. So what is the next attribute I have to alter? Central channel, correct? Display,
Yes.
CHL, queue manager, QMGRB dot QMGRA. Okay. Channel type. Just check what is the DISCINT. DISCINT stands for disconnect interval. Okay. See, by default, the value is 6,000, but I don't have a patience to wait for 6,000 seconds.
Alter the 66.
I am altering it to 60.
Okay.
In queue manager A to B, you have seen directly 60 because day before yesterday we have altered that attribute. DISCINT is 60. So now, after you doing any changes to the MQ objects like a channel, you have to stop the channel. Don't remember this point. Don't forget this point. Okay.
Okay.
display CHS in brackets star. So what is happening here? My sender is running. It means
Yes.
queue manager B to queue manager A is running. Let me check
Correct.
the second condition first, which means I won't try to put messages on the remote queue. I'll just wait for some time. Let's see if that second condition is going to trigger first or not. These both conditions are like or, not and. Any condition met, either the messages coming on transmission queue, number one, or if the messages are not coming in 60, less than 60 seconds, it will go inactive. That is what our agenda is. Okay. So Riaz, what is your convenient time on Saturday?
Saturday anytime is okay for me.
Okay. Kirtana, what is your, see, he's fine for any time. So what is your convenient time?
Evening 5 to in between 5 to 8 or 5 to 7.
Okay. Then let's connect on Saturday, 5 to 7. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Or Riaz, is that fine, right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Because I want you guys to do the lab in front of me.
Okay.
Okay.
See, our condition met, Kirtana. Our channel status not found. It means
Not found.
it waited for some time. When there is a no business happening, when there is a no real-time traffic coming, why my channel should run? Correct? So our channel
Yes.
got disconnected. Now, what is our remote queue? Sorry, display QR,
RQ.
QR star. Queue manager B dot remote queue. Display
RQ.
QR queue manager B dot RQ. Queue manager B dot RQ is my remote queue. What is my R name? Queue manager A dot LQ. So, what is my transmission queue here? TQ. So, did we make the required changes for a transmission queue or not? Let us cross check. Trigger depth we have mentioned. Trigger type we have mentioned as a depth. Okay. Did we mention as a trigger? Yes, we mentioned as a trigger. So
Yes.
these parameters we need to check. We alter the transmission queue as a trigger queue, trigger type as a depth, trigger depth as a 5. So all these conditions are matching. So we are perfectly fine now. Now AMQS put queue manager B dot RQ, right?
RQ.
Remote queue name. Yeah, queue manager B dot QMG
RQ.
B dot RQ. QMG B. Now, if I put 4 messages, it shouldn't start, right?
Yes.
So let me check either it is not running. Yes, it is not running.
It's not.
If I put one more message, what will happen?
It's running.
It will start running.
Yes.
Perfect. Now run MQ SC queue manager B. Display CHS. Perfect. So my channel triggering works. So the overall concept is my channel should not run when there is a no traffic. I'll show you another thing. So we did a changes to the channel for trigger depth only, correct?
Yes.
Alter QL TQ trigger type. I don't want this time depth. I want first. Okay.
Okay.
First means if I put first message, for example, I am having one batch of 10,000 messages. If my first
Yes.
message touch the transmission queue, my channel will start. It will not wait for 10 message or 100 message or 10,000 message, something like that.
Okay.
Whenever my first, if I put one message, channel will start. Okay.
Yes.
Right. First. So trigger depth and all, no need to worry. If you want, you can change it to DPTH to 0. Okay, because we are making as a first, right? You
Yes.
don't need to worry about depth.
Depth.
Trig data. Trig data is what? Our center channel name. QMGRB dot QMGRA. Correct? What is next? Init system dot channel
Channel dot in.
init. Alter QL trigger type. Next. Okay, I think I no need to mention this one here. I'll just remove this. Okay. Yeah. If it is 0, you don't need to worry. See, understand the definition. When you say first, you no need to worry about depth.
Depth.
Okay, that's why the numeric range error came. Okay, so now what I will do, let me see either my channel is really running or not, because it has been really long time now. I've did some changes. Display CHS. Either, as per our expectation, it shouldn't run, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it is not running. AMQ has put QMGRB.RQ, QMGRB. If I put one message, that is enough to start my channel. Started. So if you put first message, it will start. Or if you talk about a depth, a specific number of messages, if you're keeping, it will start. Okay. So now this is a channel triggering. Next concept is application triggering. Application triggering we'll discuss tomorrow. What we are going to do is a kind of a revision for tomorrow.
Okay.
And then this session. Let me stop the recording here.